This is the TUMI International carry-yarn. It's the black textured one. And this carry-yarn may cost more than your ticket. So it was sent to me to review for free. But if you wanted to purchase it, it would cost you about $800 new retail. So they haven't paid me for my video, and my opinions remain my own in this review. Alright, so inside the shipping box, we have a cloth container to protect the actual bag itself. And this cloth container has these red drawstrings. And inside of that, there are some protective tags and the case itself. And this is a 4-wheel rover, and it has your kind of standard handles that pull out of the back here. It also has a handle on the side for carrying it on the side. It has 2 TSA approved combination locks, and then it has a couple of different tags on it that are wrapped in various protective foam here. Alright, so first these tags, they're wrapped in foam on the handle here. This is just, 19-degree frame TUMI. It has basically the SKU. It says $895 MSRP. I've seen it as inexpensively as $800 with shipping included. So the other one has a warning. It may expose you to chemicals including bisphenol A, BPA, which is known in the state of California to cause birth defects, other reproductive harm. So it has BPA in the plastic of the case. Now it has another tag here. All right, now this tag, which is on the kind of lock and handle side, looks like it's essentially a place for you to put your business card or name in there. And it has a snap on it. And if you didn't want that hanging off the side of your suitcase, you could remove that. Alright, both of these guys are set to 000 when it arrives, and it does appear that that will unlock it. And so inside we have 2 compartments sealed with zippers. And inside this guy we have some desiccant. And there is an inner lining. It looks like there's a zipper on this inner lining. So there is a zipper on the inner lining here, but the head is kind of deliberately hidden behind a piece of cloth. But if you needed to, you could open up this lining and have access to the inside of that plastic case, and you can see the texture on that there. But in normal usage, you would basically just leave this zipped. Alright, so they have here the consumer services card. There's a piece of basically tissue paper. And we have a small mesh pocket here that kind of is integrated into the lid of the top side with the TUMI logo on there. There is a hinge cover between the 2 halves of the suitcase here, just a Velcro closure there. And over here we have some elastic that can be adjusted a variable length. So there's a single clip on this elastic. It's not like 2 sets, it's a single clip that comes across from the top to the bottom that you can snap into place and then tighten down to hold your clothes in. And like the other side, there's a zipper seam to open up into kind of the internals of the bag there. So in here also there's a barcode with, I'm assuming, a unique serial number and the logo and tags in there. So I'm starting to see some design elements that kind of justify their higher price point. They have all the way around the edge here kind of a V groove on this side, and there's a V peak on that side. So when those 2 halves are mated and connected together, I imagine this guy gets a very good connection all the way around. and it, you know, solidifies the whole case with those things connecting in. There's no rubber gaskets. It's not like it's making it waterproof or airtight, but it does make a very nice physical connection to lock those two halves together. So the zipper pulls are TUMI branded, so these zippers are custom made for them. There's other touches that justify the high price point, like these handles. You know, first of all, they feel really good. They're hard plastic. They have a kind of a, not exactly soft rubber, but a rubbery bit in the middle there. But when you release them, they all fold back in. So these handles will always be down and out of the way. They never stay sticking out if you're not holding on to them. It's super easy to grab them, but they just have this soft close spring that keeps them closed. And of course has a little bit of leather here and a monogram plate, so you could have that custom stamped with a monogram if you wanted to. All right, the bottom side of the case here has 4 pretty hefty rubber feet and then 2 very solid looking hinges there. And this bag will rest on all 4 of these feet on the side as long as these wheels are not down. So as long as they're flipping like this, you know, where it's sideways, it'll rest on those 4 feet. Now if these wheels should pop into this position here, it'll rest on 2 feet and the wheels on the back, and it'll kind of roll a little bit. But usually most people are going to be putting it upright and rolling it around on all 4 wheels. When you pick it up by the handle, these wheels do naturally hang in a down position. So when you set it down like this, it's not sitting on these 2 legs right here. It only sits on the 2 legs on the front. So it's not going to roll away super easily here. You'd have to be on a pretty good slope for it to roll away. But it's not actually using those 2 unless you turn these wheels to the side. This guy here, simple button, pops up, simple button, pops back. So the actual plastic of the case feels relatively flexible. It's not super thick, and on the back where the pull-out handle is, when you push down on it, you kind of hit the handle mechanism after a little bit, and so that keeps it from going in super far. On the top half here where there's no handle mechanism, I can push that down pretty far. It doesn't feel like it's going to break, it just starts resisting me more and more. And it has kind of this cool textured appearance, you know, that's cast into the plastic there. So they do not include a manual on how to set the code on these locks, but it says for complete information, including warranty, repair, TUMI tracer registration, and setting your TUMI lock, please visit our product information section on the website. So you have to go to the website to find instructions on setting the combination on these locks. All right, so the dimensions are 21.8 inches by 14 inches by 9 inches. Weighs 10.3 pounds, has a capacity of 34 liters, and the outside plastic is a recycled polycarbonate material. Now, as this is a carry-on, usually they're not going to be weighing this at the airport unless maybe you can't put it in the overhead compartment yourself, but that seems like a reasonable weight for a carry-on suitcase. All right, how to set your snap latch lock on the TUMI International luggage. So first you have to open the luggage, and once it's open, this button is in, and there is a release hole here with has a button in it. So what you do is you push that in with a ballpoint pin, and it clicks. And then you can change this to whatever super secure combination you'd like. For example, you can do 1, 2, 3. And when you're happy with 1, 2, 3, you push this button again, and now your luggage is set to a combination of 1, 2, 3. So I really do like the kind of positive clicks that these guys have, especially when you're resetting them. But these locks feel nice compared to most luggage locks. I'm 6 feet tall, and this guy here is plenty high for me. You can put it at a lower height if you're looking for a lower handle. You know, there's multiple levels. I think that's the lowest there, and there's a couple of different settings. You know, so depending on your height, you might find one particular level better than the other. I think I like the highest level for me. Rolls super smoothly, no problem rolling. It moves around really nicely. You might keep rolling if you let go of it. If you're not on a level surface, this guy will just keep rolling, and so you're definitely going to have to flip it to its side to keep it from rolling down a non-level surface. All right, so everything about this is basically just amazing because this piece of luggage is up in a different level from your typical luggage. Everything about it is super nice, and it does command that super premium price. But if you think this is too cheap, they make a version with aluminum hard sides or with titanium hard sides that are much more expensive. So yeah, I have absolutely no complaints about this suitcase here. I think you'd be very happy with it. It really just comes down to a price of, do you want to pay that much for a suitcase? So if you're living out of your suitcase 4 days a week, this might be something that you really value. If you're going on occasional trips, you could probably spend your money on something else. People who are in the know would know this is a very expensive bag. That might get you good attention, it might get you bad attention, depending on where you are in the world.